Well, I'm going to talk about the race horses in this week's videos. We've added some. We're going to subtract some. On Monday, we have some horses selling, 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. We're going to continue to acquire some horses that maybe make a little more sense for us in the here and now. That immediate impact that I like to talk about. So let's talk about the 4-year-olds. Brace for Landing's racing here, but you'll likely see him make his way to Southern Ohio. Militant can win that class 3 times that he's in. Gonna win it first, but he can win it 3 times. Gypsy Hill can win it twice. As we start to move horses out of that class, we're going to move Brace for Landing in there. Actually, I think he's a better fit than both those other 2, but we don't have anywhere to race them other than that class right now. I was thoroughly pleased with both of those horses last night. I don't think I gave Gypsy Hill the best trip, but given the circumstances, the best I could come up with. It's not one of those situations where I wish I had it over to do again. It might have happened the same way. It was just the way it played out. So Brace for Landing, we do have a plan for him. Race him. He's going to drop down next week. I think maybe if he wins a race, fine. If he doesn't, it's not the end of the world. He can still do it in Southern Ohio. They go for 17 US, which is like 22 Canadian. So every time he doesn't win, it still opens up a spot to win in Ohio. I think for a horse like him, he's done a lot. We'll maximize him right up to 10 wins. Then we'll go to the Meadows and maximize him right up to 12 wins, or sell him in between. But we're going to continue to shuffle the deck, so to speak, as we go through the fall. So Brace for Landing, that's a plan for him. Collector is in the sale on Monday. We should get decent money for him. He was a winner in 153 and 4 on Thursday evening, but now he jumps into the class above where we already have 3 horses right now. So him staying would make it problematic for us at this point. I'm not going to give the horse away. Obviously, a horse wins in 53 and 4. He has to demand a certain amount of money. His base claiming price was 40 plus allowances. The allowances aren't going anywhere for a while, and now he moves up into the 50 class. So I suspect somewhere around $40,000 to $50,000 is what Collector should bring. Seems fair to me. Save America raced great in the Gold Cup final from Post 8. Anytime he can finish 3rd out of the 8-hole in a major race, it's a big deal, and that horse raced awesome the other day. Spitfire Overseas is getting closer to racing in Ohio. Should be ready to go, I think, in the next few weeks. Tactical Mounds is ready to go right now, but where's she going to race this week? I don't know. I know they were debating on where they wanted to race. Obviously, when it comes to our trainers, I mean, we're all on the same page, and if we're not, if they aren't completely certain that we're not in lockstep, then simply just reach out and say, hey, what do you think of this, or what do you think of that? Megan's got a real good firm grip on what this filly can do and where she should race, where she maybe shouldn't race, and that ball's hers to run with, that's for sure. Texan Soprano, exact same situation. I think they know where they're going, what they need to do, and how they need to do it. All gas, no brakes. Made the break last week, but was rocky. I think with a little vet work, tighten those hobbles back up a bit, I think you're going to find he'll find the winner's circle this week if he's in the right class, I believe. And he's dropped down. James took him, so that's a good start. We'll see how that plays out. Greatest Ending. No rush to get this guy back. The rush is to have him good, have him stay good. So I've counseled Stacy a little bit. He's out in the field right now, and he comes back in to Southern Ohio. Here's the thing. You can't take a ton of time getting him back, right? There's no babying and getting him back. It doesn't mean you rush him, but get him back in a proper time. Make sure that you have a consistent schedule with him. Make sure his feet are good, his leg is good. That tendon sheath bothers him a little bit, but I suspect that time off will fix that. But the consistency is at the utmost importance and the very most difficult thing to attain and retain with Greatest Ending. JK Victory, a little frustrated with this guy. I think we all are. Lots of talent, just hasn't really got the best spins, I think, and I've been there. I've been that guy that just come off the track every night and said, why can't you just drive this horse good? I've been there, and I feel bad for Devin. Just no luck with this guy right now. Looks like money's very close to coming back. Our heavy hitters have been rested and are coming back very, very soon. So that's going to make for a very intriguing fall, I believe. Rock Shining Star is going to stay in Ontario for now. Harry Polton's going to campaign him. We already know that he can win the Open if push comes to shove in the Meadows. I got a huge announcement coming. We have a couple of horses coming from Australia. One that we're purchasing and another one that's being sent to us. They're going to make, hopefully, that immediate impact, as I said. And also, if Rock Shining Star is not going to do a Mohawk, either or both of these Australian horses should. And I'm excited to see how they're going to look. Now, they won't actually be ready until around October 1st. But again, they're going to be ready to rock for the fall. I've made a commitment to have a strong group of horses racing in the fall and winter. And every day, you know, how are the horses? How do they look? But every day I ask myself at some point, how are we looking for the fall/winter of 2025? I don't want to have a watered down stable at that point. We have in the past. Last year was not as good as the year before in the fall and winter, and I expect it to be much better this year. Serious Dragon, I think this horse can do in the condition races, outside of that condition claimer. Talented, quick, fast off the gate, durable. I guess we'll see. Wait and see. Still got to get out of this class. He'll get out of there. He's a very, very good horse. And he'll continue to be a good horse throughout the fall for us. 3 Point Blue Chip, I suspect he'll get out of that non-winners of 5 but 8. We have a number of horses that can fit in there when he leaves that class. And as he departs that class, if there's not a spot for him right away that's obvious, we can send him to Mohawk also, and he can race over there. That's where he got his start, and that's where he can return. Yo Mister, again, maybe we'll have an exchange. An exchange student. One going, one coming. We'll see for now, but Yo Mister's going to finish doing some racing in Ontario right now. No free lunch. A lot of people saying, what happened? Why wasn't he entered? He was. Then we took him out of the box. Stacy called and said he tied up. So he'll race next week in the 12-5 class. 12-5 claimer. I know I had a great conversation with Keith, and I feel bad. Sometimes when our clients call us, I'm left, when I hang up the phone, feeling like maybe I wasn't as flexible as I could be. And maybe I didn't articulate myself as well as I could. And when it come to No Free Lunch, I just didn't think he'd hold up to the speed in Mohawk. But as I say that, he's got a pace 51, 52 at Scioto. I just think Scioto's a faster track somewhat, a little bit race by race, than even Mohawk is right now. And I would rather have a consistent racing schedule from him. We're sure he can do in the 15 if push comes to shove, but I want him going on the track at 9 to 5. That's where I want him going. And I think in the 12-5 he can, and I think he'll do well now coming off tying up. He always bounced back well. So we'll see how he comes back with a week off. We'll see if we still own him after the race also, I guess. Stay close. Just got to draw the inside. I talked about this guy in the earlier part of my opening. Drew 898 his last 3. You know, I think he drops way down as he makes his way back to the Open. I don't think we're going to give them an opportunity to let us stuff him in there. If he does well in his next 3 and they're saying, well, he's got to go up in the Open, we may just put him up for sale and let somebody else race him in another jurisdiction, because I just have no interest in this. You know, he gets sharp 1, 2, 3 and then killed for 3 starts. I hate racing horses like that, and I just don't think we will. We'll see. First thing we got to do is get him back on track. It'd be nice to win 3 and then have this discussion again. Got to get those races first. And Delicious Stone, wait now. Kings County. I don't know what the hell happened in Kings County. They said he jogged a little off. He had a little heat in his right front leg. They x-rayed him and he had a line in his splint bone. How long has it been there? Has it just been aggravated, or has it been there for a while? Either way, I can tell you with experience in this, and I have had experience in this circumstance, the splint bone's just a little tiny little thing, and it goes straight down, kind of a useless little bone, really. And what happens is when you get a crack in there, it fills in with calcium, and it can start rubbing on that soft tissue in there. In my experience, just take the splint bone out. That portion that has the fracture, everything below it, the vet can go in, little incision down, take that splint bone out that's fractured, sew them back up. You don't miss very much time at all, because those bones don't do a whole lot. And if there's no damage, which there isn't, to any of the surrounding tissue, it's really just taking it out. It's not like taking your finger off. I don't even know. I'm not familiar with anatomy enough, but I've seen it many, many times before with horses. Just take that splint bone out. If it's a clean fracture and you can get it out of there, causes very little inflammation, so back up and away you go. And I think that's what we'll do. It sounds a little Frankensteinish as I say it out loud, but I can tell you, in the old days, you used to leave them in and cryo them, and you end up with calcium. And then, you know, 6-7 months later, you end up with a bigger lag. Oh, there's a tiny bit of irritation or tear in that suspensory. I've seen it time and time again. You're much better off just to take that tiny little fracture out. And that's what we'll do with Kings County. You're not going to see him down too long. What's the date today? 24th of August. You'll see him race within the next 4 weeks, I think, if they can get that out quickly. I know there was some debate as to what they want to do. Well, there won't be a debate. It'll either be taken out in Minnesota or he'll be on a truck and it'll be taken out in Ohio. One way or another, it'll be taken out this week. Delicious Stone. Can't really find a class for this guy. You know where they have one? At Mohawk. And that's where he's going. Delicious Stone is going to head to Ontario. Dominic can race him in the optional 20 claimer. I think his denominator is 2 or 4,000. It's a good spot for him. We had him in the 15 claimer here, the optional 15. That's even more. 20 claimer is 16 or 17. So, right, 16. We'll race him in that optional 20 claimer for a bit, and I think he fits low right now anyway. So, Jason said he's sound. His lag is holding good. It looks it's a little swelling in it, but not a ton of heat. I think it's just one of those old grizzly kind of scar tissue type situations that'll come down. The more work you put into him, as good as he stays, it'll come down. And then Patrick the Piranha is